Hey guys, it's Emily. Hey guys, it's Emily. Wow, it just got fucking dark. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. First things first, I have blue hair now. Well, it's like a teal, blue, green. I don't know, it's weird. Anyway, I have that now. I changed it up. I decided I wanted to change my hair up and just go kind of crazy with it, so I did. Number two, I know I always have bad lighting when I do these videos, and I really have bad lighting right now because I didn't do this during the day because I was too lazy and I just wanted to binge watch Netflix and Hulu. So, therefore, we are going off the lighting that I have in the back, which doesn't really do a lot for the front, and that lighting is just a TV, so yes, that is my life. So, today I'm going to be bringing you a fun little story time. And it is a story time about the absolute worst Tinder date in the world. I mean, I bet people have gone on worse, but like for me, like this was horrendous. So, to start off with, like, I mean, I've been on Tinder for maybe like a couple of years now, like 2 or 3 years. Pretty much ever since I graduated high school, I made a Tinder, but I never, ever, ever went on dates with the guys I matched with. And it was because I was too afraid of it being like, let's just meet and hook up, which I know is what, you know, Tinder's used for. But for me, I was like, I'm not into that. And so I just kind of like used it just to look at guys and maybe talk a little bit. So for years, I've never gone on a date. But you know what? I was like, you know, it's 2018. Why not? It's a new year. It's a new me. Let's that just sounded so fucking cliche. Oh my god. But anyway, I was like, it's 2018. We should try. We should give this a shot. Let's go on one Tinder date. So I went on this Tinder date with this guy. We'll call him Nacho. I don't know why I picked Nacho. It's all that's in my head right now. So I went on this date with Nacho. Well, first things first, Nacho does not have a car, but he goes to a college that is out of state. Okay, whatever. So I'll pick you up. Which, I really, you know, I've learned, you don't do that. Don't pick him up. You meet on the first date. Well, then number two, you know, I can't even do the list of things. We just gotta get through the story. So, Nacho and I, we matched on Tinder. Wow, bitch, as soon as I get going. So, Nacho and I, we matched on Tinder, and he was my type. Skinny, white, nerdy. I mean, I have a type. I don't know why. I always go for guys who are skinny, white, and nerdy. Which I've been trying to break out of that, but I can't help it. I'm just drawn to him. We match, and we start messaging, and like instantly, like we are bonding over stuff. We are having this like connection. And I'm like, oh my god, like this is like almost the perfect guy. Because literally everything I liked, he liked. And some of the stuff he liked that I didn't really know, I was like, I'm open to it. Whatever. We'll look at it. We'll, you know, whatever. We'll bond. So, we hit it off, and we decided to make a plan. I give him my number. We're texting. We set a date. We'll say we went on a Friday, because I honestly can't remember. I get off work. I go home. I change into the most casual date clothes ever. My mentality, honestly, is that if you don't like me in my jeans and a t-shirt or my, you know, Nike shorts and a t-shirt, then this isn't gonna work out because I do not dress up. Like, jeans and a nice blouse is dressing up for me. So I went in my jeans and a t-shirt, you know, just ready, and I even told him, I was like, I'm not dressing up for this date, you know? And I remember I was talking to my best friend, I was telling Natalie, I was like, dude, I'm so nervous, like, what if it goes well, what if it goes bad, like, I don't know, am I ready for this? It's just like, just go and have fun. So I go. So I drive to the dorms, and I go and I pick Nacho up. Nacho comes down, you know, we meet, and it was great. And then as soon as I pull out of his dorm's parking lot, and we start driving, keep in mind, we have no idea what we're doing because Nacho refused to make a plan, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with you. He wanted me to drive all the way up to Penn Square Mall, which is in the city, and I was like, I am not driving all the way up there. So we went to the mall in town. I know, great first date, guys, right? And on the drive there, he's talking non-stop, which I'm like, okay, whatever. He's nervous. I get it. You know, I'm nervous too, so I'd probably be doing the same thing. Anyway, so he's talking my ear off. We get to the mall. We go inside. We are walking around. He's still talking a lot. I'm asking him questions about himself, so I get to know him, and I'm expecting him to start asking questions back, right? Like, hey, let me get to know you. No, that is not what he does. He just keeps talking. So we're in the mall and we pass Hot Topic, which I don't mind Hot Topic. I go in there with my friends all the time. But he was like, when I went in 5th grade, when I went through my like Twilight phase, I was excited about Hot Topic. Like, not just like a little excited, but like excited. And that is how this 19-year-old boy was. He was genuinely so excited to go in there. And then, so we go in there, we look around. Everything's cool. You know, I'm looking, seeing what he's looking at. And I'm like, okay, you know, this is stuff I'm really not into, but that's fine, whatever, we'll look. So, we leave Hot Topic. Then we walk past Spencer's. And he's like, ooh, I like that store. But I'm like, I'm not going into Spencer's with you because I know what's in the back of Spencer's. Anyone who's been in Spencer's knows what's in the back. So, we leave and we're driving around. I'm kind of showing him the town because I've lived here my whole life. He's from Texas, never lived here, before. Duh, he's from Texas. So, I'm showing him around and he's still talking. And I mean, it wasn't like you know, this is me, I'm just nervous, I'm talking. It was like, I'm so excited, I'm just gonna keep talking. And it was the kind you really just can't tolerate for a long period of time. But I tolerated it. So, I asked him if he's hungry. I mean, I wasn't hungry, but, you know, I know boys and men are hungry all the time. And I'm usually hungry all the time. So, I asked. I said, hey, you hungry? And he was like, yeah, I'm hungry. I'm be down to eat. Where do you want to go? I was like, I don't care. Where do you want to go? And he was like, well, let's go to IHOP. Okay, let's go to IHOP, International House of Pancakes. So, I drive us to IHOP. We go in, we get seated. Oh my god, my hair. We're sitting there eating, and we're finally actually chit-chatting back with one another, having a good conversation. The meal comes to an end. God, I'm freaking forgetting words! So, the meal comes to an end, and the waiter comes by and drops off the check. The waiter didn't even ask if we wanted to split or be on one ticket, which I was like, fine, whatever, because I could always just ask him to take it back and split it. So the check sits there for a good, 5 or 6 minutes. I mean, enough times for the waiter to keep walking by, giving us, the hint of, hey, I need you to pay so I can just check you out and be done. Finally, I start making, the slow reach to grab my wallet out of my purse. And he's just sitting there watching, Nacho's just having a grand old time. So finally, I pull my wallet out, and he can see it, and I open it up. He's still just sitting there watching, smiling, and I pull out my card, and I lay it down, and I give it to the waiter to pay. Shit you not. This is what Nacho said. Thank you so much. This bitch wasn't even gonna fucking pay! He wasn't even gonna play, he wanted me to pay for the meal. He didn't even want to split it. Just pay for what he got. He had me pay! Oh my god, and I get it. We're in the 21st century. I get it. I'm old-fashioned. I want a guy to wine and dine me, okay? I want him to pay. I want him to open my door. Some may say I'm high maintenance. I just say I have standards. So, we leave IHOP, where I have just paid for our 5-star meal. We get in a car, and he looks at me, and he says, hey, Emily. And I'm like, hey, Nacho. He's like, can I kiss you? And I was like, first of all, I am the type of person that if you're going to kiss me, I'd like for it to be a surprise, because as soon as you tell me it's coming, I flip out. I can't even handle it. This has happened to me so many times where I've been asked, can I kiss you? And then oh my God, as soon as the words leave their mouth, I'm always like, like, oh God. And so I'm like being all quiet because I don't know what to say. I mean, like, the answer is no, but I feel like rude for saying no. So I'm being really quiet. He's like, it's okay, we don't have to do anything right now. I was like, whew, maybe I just dodged a bullet. So I'm like, okay, are we ready? And then he's like, let's drive around some more. So I was like, okay, so we drive around some more. And then at this point, Natalie is waiting for us because I had told her that if the date went well, we were going to do a ghost tour of campus with her, but the date was not going well, and I just did not know how to end it. So we still went on the ghost tour. Yeah, okay, it's a cold, cold day. Like, I mean, it was freezing night, and we're walking around on campus, okay? And I'm like, you know what? I'll put out some feelers. So I hook our arms together, you know, like the cute, like, oh, I'm snuggling up to you because it's cold. Ooh. And he's just limp. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? So then I just keep our arm length, and I put it down, then I leave my hands out. Okay, I'm in a jacket, I'm freezing my ass off, but my hands have no gloves. But I leave them in the blistering Oklahoma winter wind, where I feel like my hands are gonna fall the fuck off. So I leave them down because I'm like, maybe he'll hold it. Maybe he'll hold it. Because if he holds it, then that's like a good sign, okay? That's what I like. You gotta hold my hand and we progress. We progress. He doesn't hold my hand. My hand literally freezes, and I'm pretty sure it died. It was terrible, and I was honestly kind of annoyed because the tour was like 30 minutes. So we go back to Natalie's house. We get in my car, and at this point I'm like, dude, it's 10 o'clock at night. We started this date at 7. I was like, I'm ready to go. Well, then he's like, hey, let's drive around. So I'm like, oh my God, okay. But in my mind, all I'm thinking is like, I want this date to be over, and we're wasting so much gas. Like, this is so much gas. We drive around, and he eventually is like, hey, go pull into the Walmart parking lot. I'm like, okay. And so I park. We're just sitting there talking for like the second time in the date. Like, we're actually having a conversation. And then he asked me, he says, hey, I know I asked you at IHOP, but you never really gave me an answer. Can I kiss you? And I said, no. I said no. And Nacho said, okay, and leaned in and started aggressively kissing me. This is the date where I realized I really have to be more firm on my nose because he's aggressively kissing me. I am not even really reacting back to him. He's still going. So finally, I bring up that I have to be up by 6 the next morning for work. Yes, I work. He's like, oh, okay, well, you can just drop me off back at the dorms. I'm like, okay. So I drive back to the dorms to drop him off, and I'm literally slowing down in front of the door, and he says, hey, go park so you can walk me in. And I was like, first of all, isn't this like a dude thing? Like, don't dudes walk the girls in? Whatever. And so I was like, okay. Once again, where I'm realizing, if you don't want to do it, Emily, don't fucking do it. So I walked him up to the dorm room door after I went and parked my car. Yeah, then he says I should go up with him to his dorm room. And I'm like, no, it's late. And he's like, no, come on, please, come on. And I'm like, fuck, fine, I'll go. Whatever, it's a date. It'll be over soon. I go up to his dorm, and then he says I have to be approved by Benjamin Bonesworth. And I'm like, who the hell is that? And he's like, it's my skeleton in my closet. I shit you not. He pulls out, oh my God, he opens his closet door, and he pulls out a fucking skeleton, and he says, Benjamin Bonesworth has to approve of me. What the actual fuck? Oh my God, I've never, ever had, I was so baffled. I was like, who the fuck date. Who the fuck even brings that shit out ever? I was like, oh my god. So then, he decides, let's kiss some more. And like pushes me down in bed and starts making out with me again. And I'm like, oh my god, I want to go home. But once again, I never say no because I was being real beta that day and I needed to be an alpha. He's making out with me and literally I start laughing at him because he has rammed his tongue so far back my throat that, I was pretty sure he was touching my freaking, like the back of my throat. I was pretty sure he was touching it. And so I'm laughing and he's like, what? And I'm like, you're literally ramming your tongue down my throat, dude. Like, what the fuck? And then he's all like, well, that's how it's supposed to be done. I was like, what the fuck? No, it's not supposed to be done like that. And I'm pretty sure you should make sure the vibe is out there. Oh my god, it was a mess. And so, oh, I just realized I have a hair. He's like, I'll escort you out. First of all, who the fuck says escort? But okay. He walks me all the way out to my car and leans in for another kiss. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I literally do the dodge and hug, we part ways. And at first I was like, maybe this was a good day. And then I went to fucking bed and I woke up and I said, fuck that. That was the worst fucking date of my whole life. Like, that shit sucked. I would never go on another Tinder date based on that. I never talked to him again. Still haven't talked to him to this day. Because I was like, fuck that. That was weird. Don't want to do that ever again. So a week goes by and in Norman, we have this thing called Norman Music Fest, where we have like a lot of local bands play, local artists, and then even some bigger bands that are like, when I say bigger bands, I mean bigger than local bands that are traveling through and they get to perform. Well, it's like the one day I get to go to Norman Music Fest. And so I'm going and I'm walking and I'm having a grand old time. But when I was at my nursing school clinicals that morning, I remember like telling my instructor, I'm afraid I might have strep. My throat hurts really, really bad. And she was like, oh, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine. I'm at Norman Music Fest and it's like just getting worse and worse. So I'm finally like, I call my grandma and I'm like, Grandma, I need to go to the urgent care or something. I'm pretty sure I have strep throat. And so we go, we're sitting and I'm like, Grandma, I don't even know how I got strep throat. And I'm like, I'm just literally like baffled. I'm like, how did I get this? I haven't had this since freaking middle school when I was drinking after people. And then I looked at my grandma, and at the time, I'm going off that I think it's strep throat. The doctor hasn't actually told me if it is strep throat. A light bulb just flipped, and I looked at my grandma and I said, I hope this isn't mono. And my grandma was like, what do you mean? And I was like, when I went on that date, that guy rammed his tongue down my throat, like, multiple times. I was like, Grandma, I hope he doesn't have mono. As I was talking to her, I was getting so fucking pissed. And I was like, if he gave me fucking mono, I'm gonna come out of the fucking woodwork and I'm just gonna be like, what the fuck, Nacho? I was pissed. I was fucking pissed. I did not want mono. Anyway, results came back. I had pharyngitis, which is just a different form of strep. Like, Nacho gave me strep. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. If you want to see more of me, hit the subscribe button down below, or you can hit the little post notifications bell down there so you get notified every time I upload. Comment down below what your worst Tinder date stories are. Also, here's all my social medias. You'll notice my Twitter has changed. It's usually this one. My Twitter has changed, and that's because Twitter found out I updated my birth year to the proper year, and Twitter found out that I made my account when I was under 13. Therefore, they locked my account. I put in a petition, and they still kept it locked. So, I have a new one. It's right here. Go follow it. It like literally has no followers. So, anyway, I love you guys.